Welcome to Darrell's Corner, a podcast focused on bringing entrepreneurs and resources together. Hosted by Darrell Tennie, CEO of the Tennie Group.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, all right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much again. All right, and welcome back to Darrell's Corners. Okay, again, this is our second podcast here, our second event. So we want to say thank y'all so much for returning. And today I want to introduce you to, I can say, my friend, North Carolina House Representative James Roberson.
It's okay. It is okay. No, man, that's good video. Why would you stop that, right?
No, okay.
All right, so we'll start over again. But look, you need to be natural, right?
Yeah.
It's okay, man. It's okay. That was good.
All right.
Am I right, my brother?
Yes, sir. All right. Yeah. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back again to Darrell's Corner. I want to thank everyone for coming back and rejoining us and hear what we got to say at Darrell's Corner. Okay. Again, our purpose of our podcast is to provide information to our communities as a part of our outreach programs and stuff. But today, I want to introduce my friend. Okay. North Carolina House Representative James Roberson.
No, it's Roberson.
You always picking at me saying I'm saying it wrong, but I'm getting it right. I'm practicing it now, okay?
All right. But Darrell got it correct, everyone. All right. Good deal.
So my buddy here, we want to thank you for being here today, okay?
All right.
And I wanted, let you introduce yourself a little bit and stuff, and tell us a little bit about, let everybody know your background. What's your background, James?
Well, I'm James Roberson. As Darrell said, I'm with the North Carolina House of Representatives. Prior to that, I served as an educator for the largest community college in the state of North Carolina, Wake Technical Community College. Mm-hmm. I also served as the former mayor of Knightdale, and I was on my second term before receiving this appointment from our then governor in 2021. So I've always been embedded in the community, always been a big proponent of the community. And I guess it all started with my undergrad experience at the Shaw University, located right here, the oldest HBCU in the South, 1865. And so Shaw has been credited with equipping me with the necessary tools and resources to be able to go out and give back to the community. And I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy paying it forward and trying to find ways to realize opportunities for our citizens, and especially those from underserved communities.
Well, James, I can say, from the years I've known you, you've already been a man of your word and you provided those resources. But I just wanted to go back to say how we first met.
That's right. You
were mayor of Knightdale at Wake Tech, and you came and you and was talking to me about this program, it's a new program that you had, in which you were maybe we were working, giving students of Wake Tech real work experience, real life experience. But when you brought that program, to us, the work initiative program to us, when you talked to me about it, I said, okay, well, we'll try it. Yeah. But I can say has been one of the most successful programs that I ever had for the Tennie Agriculture Group, because one of the things that the students that you brought in to us and we get the opportunity to grew us. I can say right now, we have grown from that program. I've always said we're very diverse. We offer a lot of diversity within the language that could be spoken. At one time, we was able to speak up to 5 languages within our office and stuff. Right. But I can say that program has been very successful. So that's one of the bridges that, brought us, to where we're at today. Okay?
Well, Darrell, if I may say, it's because of your willingness, to step out and take a chance on this initiative, which you did. And at that time, the focus was, on a lot of these young folks that do not otherwise get the opportunity to get real work experience. And it created a pipeline for us to introduce them to the community college system. And I remember you and I emphatically having these conversations where we said, if we can just get them in the door, once we get them in the door, the foundation at Wake Tech will find additional resources to retain these students. And then you've been able to retain these students.
Yep.
And, they are just outstanding students. Some have gone on to further their education. Some are doing well in the workplace. And some have gone on and started their own business. And that's big. That's a big credit to you and your willingness to recognize the importance of helping these kids from underserved communities. So thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'll thank you for taking us under consideration for this program. And it's been a very, very, very excellent collaboration. Okay. Now, James, tell us about some of your goals, objectives for 2025 and 26.
Well, we know what type of political climate we're in. And I think a lot of folks are concerned in terms of not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow when it comes to their jobs. And so we're pushing forward with legislation, good legislation, trying to identify ways to help those that are in need, and especially those, again, from underserved communities. I have a piece of legislation that will be introduced hopefully in the coming months. It's a 529 plan where the state will invest money for every child that is born in North Carolina in poverty. The state will start contributing money to this 529 account.
Oh.
And so, from the time that child is born to the time that child is 18, that's a lot of money that will hopefully pay for their education, whether they're going to a 4-year institution or a 2-year institution like Wake Tech. Now, the question has been asked, what if at that time the child does not decide to go to an institution of higher ed? Well, that money goes back to the state. And if you can imagine, with the interest that had accrued over an 18-year period, that's a win-win for the state.
Yeah.
But the overall objective is to make sure that we create access and opportunities for anyone who wish to further their education, because when they do, when they succeed, we succeed as a community. They become business owners. They move on and enter the workforce. Now they can pursue the American dream of owning a home, paying taxes, and that's a win-win for any local municipality.
Yeah, you said something that I guess the elephant in the room, the elephant in the country right now.
Right.
With the climate that's going on now, we talked about businesses, we talked about programs for perhaps minority businesses.
Right.
With this new climate. Can't say DEI.
Right.
Can't say climate smart. You can't say anything that's associated to minority businesses.
Right.
Where do you see we're at?
I see us going down a slippery slope.
For minority businesses.
For minority business, for any minority business owner, because, some of these business owners, they receive funding from federal contracts. And so I'm inundated with calls from members of the communities that, folks that own trucking companies, and we know how important our truckers are. They're scared. They've been in business for 17 years and they don't know where to turn. And these are, folks that have contributed to the community, continues to contribute to the community. But when you take that away, then you're taking away someone's livelihood. And so it is concerning to me and concerning to my colleagues downtown how we're going to get through this. And, so we're exploring, I would tell you this, on the Democratic caucus side of the House, we are exploring ways to make sure that folks are able to live a sustainable life and continue to move forward with what they've been doing and contributing to our community. But these are scary times.
Well, we're getting calls already like, okay, is the IRS going to be open? Are they closing the IRS?
Right.
We're getting calls, I mean, literally, we're getting calls, people saying, are we going to be able to get our refunds? Are we going to do our taxes, you know? Yeah. But as we talk about the climate and we talk about the scary times out here, you know my space, agriculture. You know, that's why we got a big front.
That's right.
Why is it important to support our farmers? But and the second part of this question, what is there, you know, from you being on the Agriculture Appropriation Committee, is that being considered or is that being recognized? I mean, North Carolina is an agricultural state now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, every state, in my opinion, is an agricultural state. And, you know, serving on the Agricultural Appropriations Committee, it covers a wide gamut of things. And a lot of folks don't even realize your parks and recs, other entities, but and our farmers have a lot to do with that, you know. And so when you're taking away a farmer's livelihood, you're taking away our livelihood. The clothes that you and I are able to wear, you know, when we go out and we have dinner. You know, when
cattle,
So all of these things are, in my opinion, all of these things are being impacted by these new policies that are you know, that this administration is pushing forward, and we need to make sure that our farmers are in a good place. And, you know, not to mention what has happened with Helene, with our folks in the western part of the state. Thank God, you know, I serve on the Helene committee, which our speaker was kind enough to appoint me to serve on this committee. But we are proposing or putting forth $75 million to help relieve some of the farmers. But that's just a start. We're looking at $500 million. The governor, our governor, has asked the legislators to do better, which is well over $1 billion, because these folks need relief and these farmers need relief. You know, roads have been destroyed, crops have been destroyed, and so we need to get these folks back to a place where they can do business and provide for the community and provide for the citizens.
Well, you know, James, I think, you know, and I want to applaud your effort in recognizing, as, you know, my passion, you know, is working with our agricultural community as we're doing agribusiness development. You know, agribusiness is where we're at today. But not only for agribusiness, not only for as we say, non-agribusiness, for all business owners. I think that, you know, we are, you know, trying a situation that we all face uncertainties. But what other initiatives do you think you have to realize, you know, as it pertains to businesses, you know? You know, whether it be farming, whether it be, you know, non-farming, like you say, the truckers, you know, all aspects of businesses, you know, what initiatives do you see that, you know, you may be working on or maybe have an opportunity to explore?
You know, when it comes to businesses, sometimes it can be a challenge to provide funding for businesses in state government because you are a for-profit. But for those nonprofit businesses, you know, there may be opportunities for us to seek funding and support for these entities. But it's going to be difficult, but we need to do everything possible. And what we can do is serve as a resource, you know, getting back to our farmers, because, you know, a lot of farmers don't know where to turn. But we got, you know, USDA that is available. We have you, which you represent farmers throughout these United States. So we need to make sure that we're pointing these folks or these businesses in the right direction to get the help and support that they need. So, you know, right now, I would say for us, the most important thing for us to do is to make sure that we are working together with our local, our county, our federal government, to point folks in the right direction, and then to make sure that there are resources in place such as your establishment, where you can provide some sort of education or get someone back on track so their business can continue to be sustainable and they can move forward with doing the good work that they do for the community.
Well, James, and I'll be honest and stuff. Before we wrap up, I want to ask your opinion or something. Okay. Right. No matter what side of the aisle you sit on, Republican, Democrat, Independent, or whatever. Do you feel that this is going to be an effect across the board? A lot of times people say, well, this is supposed to be to immigration. This is supposed to be EI. This was what. But do you feel this could possibly affect across the board?
I'm of the opinion that it will impact the entire landscape. Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate that, some folks don't feel that it will. But anytime, and I hate to keep going back to our farmers, but everything we do, we rely on our farmers.
Absolutely.
Pieces of paper, it has to do with farmers. And so if you think about it, it's going to not only impact, I'm of the opinion, not only impact socially disadvantaged farmers, but other farmers too. You see what's happening with the price of eggs and bird flu. And so this is not just a underserved farmers issue. This is an American issue. And so we need to address these things in whole, because it impacts everyone. And every business, I'm of the opinion, will feel the effects of some of these policies that are being passed down from our folks in D.C.
The communities that we serve, the industry that we serve, we see that, and we talk to a lot of people across the country, as we already are, from the service that we provide, all, are afraid, and all do feel, and some have already felt the impact of some of these changes.
Darrell, we have state retirees that have given some 30, 40 years of service for our state. We have retired veterans that have sacrificed their lives to keep us on free soil. And when, for instance, with our state retirees who have not received a permanent pay increase in 8 years, and, we keep teasing them with these supplemental increases, but it's a bonus. And we kind of changed the wording around and tried to dress it up. But a one-time bonus. Do you think that person, and these are the folks that are shopping at your Walmarts, your Targets, patronizing our local businesses. Do you think these folks are going to take that money when they get that paid, when they get that supplemental bonus, and go out and go shopping like they would normally do? No, they're going to hold on to it because they don't know what to expect. And so we do ourselves and we do our community a disservice. And these folks that have paid the ultimate sacrifice in making sure that our kids have been educated, making sure that our state is in good standings. To me, it's a travesty in terms of what we're doing. And for our military veterans, disabled veterans, when, I'm getting calls from these folks and they're living in an apartment and all of a sudden their apartment, this uncontrollable rent increase, their apartment goes up in 1 year, $400, but you haven't received any additional monies. We're setting people up to fail. And when we go up and down these streets and 540 and we begin to see homeless folks, these folks are becoming the new demographics of homeless. And we need to do something before it becomes an epidemic.
Well, James, I would say, first of all, thank you for the great service you're doing for the, state of North Carolina, and I want to say, in fact that, it's been an honor to be, your friend.
And my fraternity brother. And you said nothing about the Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Yeah, Blue Phi. No, go ahead.
Well, as we are the Blue Phi,
and show them your bracelet.
Oh man, you got this nice little Phi Beta Sigma bracelet here.
Oh, that's nice. The one that you have been promising to me, but I haven't received it.
I promise.
But it's okay.
With me going so much, I just want to try to be.
I'll get it when this podcast is over.
What do you see the impact of the D9? What do you see the impact of the D9?
Well, I think the D9 has always been involved in the community with service. I think we're going to see an increase in that because we're not going to just sit back and allow folks, to go homeless or to allow folks to starve or, create more scholarships and educational opportunities because we know how valuable an education is. And so I expect the Divine Nine to step up its service, in which they've already have been serving in tremendous ways. But I think what you're going to see is a larger presence from the D9 in terms of creating ways to help those that are in need. We're in for some tough times. And I'm not trying to scare anyone, but I'm already, as a legislator, experiencing calls from folks that are concerned, folks that have been displaced from work. These federal jobs right here in my district, over the last 2 weeks, I've had 4 people to call me. Wow. So it's only going to manifest.
Well, James, is there anything that we can do here, at Soundscape Studios and, as part of Tennie Group, Tennie Ag, we want to let you know you always have our mic to spread your voice.
Thank you.
And your words, across. I had the, knowledge of Thomas Wise, our engineer here, and who's, he's going to make sure you heard.
And then you have your staff members over here hiding.
Rosin and Alex, so we're going to make sure you're right and we'll make sure you're heard. But I can only thank you so much. So is there anything you want to say in closing?
I would just like to thank you and thank your staff for the incredible work that you all are doing. And you're doing it. You're thinking outside of the box. You're creating ways to create opportunities. Sometimes you don't have to just sit back and rely on your federal government to do things. You are doing it. You guys are doing it. And big ups to you. And I'm so proud of you. And thank you for the friendship, the brotherhood. But more importantly, thank you for your commitment to community.
I want to say thank you so much. But as part of us doing it, has came from many other part of us doing has come from many opportunities given us to get this done or given us to start to do it. So I cannot thank you for the opportunity you've given us to get to the point where we're at today. And like I said earlier, programs that you started that we first met on, you, and I would say this very, very meaningfully, you're one of the reasons that we're at this point where we're at to do the things we're doing for our friendship, but you're the reason in many situations.
That's what we do as brothers. That's what we do as members of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. All right. Now, can I get my bracelet?
I'm going to give it to you right now so the whole country can see that I gave you this bracelet.
Blue Phi, Thank you, Darrell.
Thank you so much.
All right, this is great. Look at it. It fits perfectly, too.
My brother.
Roberson, you want one?
She got to come to the sisterhood now. She got to come to the sisterhood now. But listen, I want to say thank y'all so much for being a part of our Darrell's Corner today again. We have a lot of exciting guests coming on, throughout our programs, and so we'll be keeping you informed. So to everyone, thank you so much for being here today, and we look forward to seeing and talking to you very, very soon. Okay, thank you. All right,
this has been great, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.